guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. Got a bit of a change today. Sorry, my sound's got a bit chiggly, so I'm gonna have to try and use my microphone on my headphones. So do bear with me. But today we're gonna be sitting down with Ron from Ready to Love season 4. Now I know he's been causing a bit of a storm. His interviews have been shaking the room, and so we decided to get him on the show, get a little conversation going, and also ask him some really tough questions, because we had Amber here some few days ago, and I want to make sure that I don't know who said this or who said that, so I want to ask some questions. Hopefully Ron can clear that up for us. Ron, how you doing today?
Doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Your beard is looking strong, sir. You understand?
Hey, I'm doing a haircut myself, just like everybody else. So how the beginning of the week always starts, you know.
I hear you. Not a problem at all. Man, Ron, you know what? I appreciate you getting to come onto the show. I mean, onto this particular show anyway. It's an honor, and we're happy to have you. Now, I just want to say, Ron, before we start, we like to do our human verification, okay? Human verification. And the reason why we do that is because we just want to make sure you're not a robot. Make sure you're not a robot.
Your sound is getting robotic.
Is it getting robotic?
Yeah, you're like the robot doing it.
Nah, Ron, you're moving mad. Ron, I think you need to move your camera slightly.
Yeah, I can't do anything with that, man.
You can't move it. You can't move anymore.
I can't hear anything. That's
Oh, you can't hear anything.
Nah, it's static. It's like robotish. Like I said, it's like a robot talking, but it's static too. I can't hear.
Oh, okay, Ron. I think because listen, everyone's saying they can actually hear me too well, so I'm actually too close to the mic. Are you on the Wi-Fi? You want to make sure you're on the Wi-Fi. You're on the Wi-Fi. Just want to make sure.
Who? Me? I'm on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just want to make sure it's all clear. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to try and keep the mic away from me because I think they're saying it's too loud right now. The sound is too close. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me lower this down. Okay. All right. Cool. So apologies. There's any statics on my end, guys. Apologies. All right. Cool. So Ron, we'd like to ask some questions. To try to get to know you a little bit. We're going to do some icebreakers. So I've got some song lyrics for you, Ron, today. Okay. So my song lyric here for you today is, girl, I really want to work this out because I'm tired of fighting, and I really hope you still want me the way I want you. Let me not say the rest. That's it.
Okay. Sounds like old school R&B, but I stepped on that one.
It's a Marian Icebox.
Oh yeah, really? Okay, I get you.
Yeah. Got it.
That's a dance song, I didn't really
You did
the lyrics to that song.
You want about that life? I hear you, bro. I hear you. Second question, we've got a little quiz for you, a little riddle for you. So the riddle goes, I am wet when drying, what am I?
Wet when drying. Ice Cube?
No. You was kind of, I can't see your clothes. Someone's actually said it in the chat. It's actually a towel.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It is what it is. I'm not good at these riddles, so don't worry, bro. You're good.
Oh, yeah.
You're good, bro.
I was thinking towel. I was thinking Ice Cube. You know what I mean?
No worries at all. Last question is, cereal or milk first? Cereal or milk first?
Cereal first, always.
What kind of cereal would you normally be eating though?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay, I can rock with that.
They said that post banana nut bread.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, I can rock with that. Cool. All right, Ron, you've passed the test. You are a human being. You know what I'm saying? We love that. All right, you're a human being. All right. So, Ron, we always like to get to know people first before we dive deep into the Ready to Love conversation. So, I want to ask you this question, Ron. Who is Ron and what is Ron's story?
Ron story is basically, like I said, I grew up out in Michigan, in Detroit area. I moved around a lot. I went to probably about, like I said, 6 different high schools in about 6 different states. So during that, like I said, you go from, playing sports and ball and being a popular kid in the school, and then the next day you're walking around with your lunch tray and you're trying to find somebody to sit next to because you don't know anybody that quick. And it's a gift and a curse. I can't say that, man, me and my friends had, from day one had all these good times and I stayed in one spot and we never experienced anything different. Or I can look at it and say, hey, I would never have met these certain people if it wasn't for the moving and going to different places. So I like to look at it that way more than others. So like I said, me as a person, I'm close to my family. I'm a family guy. I'm the type of guy that likes to help people. I give you the shirt off my back. I try to look at stuff with an understanding and just have a forgiving personality.
Love that. Okay, so forgiving personality. Okay, cool. What would you say if your friends were to describe you in 5 words or less? How would they describe Ron?
They would say outgoing, uh, life of the party, fun, honest, giving, loyal. Those would be some of the words thrown out.
Cool. So out of that bunch of words that you've mentioned there, which one would best describe Ron?
Um, Giver. I'm a giver, so I guess I'm a giving person. It's just in me.
Okay, I represent that. I rate that. So you're a giver. You're a given kind of person as well. Oh, I like that. I like that. I mean, okay, so take us back a little bit, Ron. I mean, we know the successful man now. I know you've got a few businesses on the go too as well. You're a successful man, a provider kind of man as well. But before you get there, what's the childhood Ron like? What's childhood dreams of Ron? What was Ron like as a child?
As a child, I was like every other child. I was really into sports. I played basketball, football, and track. I like hanging with the guys, with my friends. Sometimes we were getting in trouble. Sometimes we're not. I was raised with both my parents until they got a divorce, and then my dad took me. You know what I mean? For a lot of the time, kind of raised me up as a man. I didn't like rules that much. I'm not a huge rule follower. So I got to the point where I can kind of do my own thing. And I kind of moved out the house pretty early, around about 18, 17. Moved in with some friends in the bad part of Detroit and kind of made my way from there.
Wow. Okay. So you a bit of experience as well. So obviously high school now. What was high school Ron like then?
High school Ron was, like I said, I was an athlete. Um,
What sports did you play?
I played basketball, football, and track.
Okay. What do you run on track?
Track I ran the 100, 200, and 4.
Jeez. Okay. Which discipline would you say that you were? That was your kind of thing out of the three.
I said at 200 because it gave me the 4 was just brutal. Even though I was probably my best one, but I just hated it so much. So the 2 gave me a little relief in between those 3 races.
I like that. I like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so the track was your kind of thing. Ron was a track star a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Well, so was like, okay. So when you like a track star, I know obviously sports are a big thing in high school and stuff. Was Ron like then? Were you one of those guys that were like superstar in that then? Were you like one of those
Yeah, I was
guys?
pretty good. I was well known. I knew a lot of people. I like to say with the phrase, when I was in high school, I hung out with the cool kids. You know what I mean? I was on that side of the locker room, and we just playing sports, trying to stay out of trouble, man. It was just like that.
Okay. When you
Trying
say
to get some
start,
grades, trying to figure it out.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Love that. And when you say obviously staying out of trouble, what was there trouble in the area that you have to try and stay away from, or
Yeah, it's
just in
trouble
general?
everywhere, and it just depends on who you hang out with. You know what I mean? Who's your friends with, at the time would tell you a lot. You're going to get influenced. There's no way really around that. I used to box too. So, you know
Okay.
what I mean? Sometimes at that age, you want to prove yourself. You get in fights, you get in different things. It happens.
So you had some hands as well, bro. So you got some hands to go with it as well. So you're not just a
Oh,
runner.
yeah. I'm trained in that.
Jeez. Okay, Ron. Okay, Ron. You sound like you was kinging it out there, man.
Yeah, like I said, I've always been outgoing and social and that person. I haven't changed too much over the years of personality wise. Like who I am, just got a lot smarter and made a lot less mistakes. Right?
I hear that. I hear that. Okay, okay. So obviously, I know you run businesses now, but okay. So what was Ron's childhood dream? What was your dream then?
I wanted to be like my dad. So my dad was a businessman. He was in sales. He was always thought highly in that. And I wanted to be like him. Like I said, my dad has, his golfing partners are some of the top black elite ex-football players, Hall of Famers, and things of that nature. He always got invited to the right spots. And I was the junior. I'm a junior, and I just wanted to be like that. Career-wise and whatnot.
Okay, love that. I love that. Okay, so obviously then you get to see the businessman and stuff. And you got a few businesses. Am I right?
Yeah, I got a few.
Okay. What's the businesses that you run, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, I'm in corporate on the sales side. I own a small car lot, and I own a import casket company.
Wow. Okay. So wait, how did you get into import,
You
like
what?
cast? How did you get into import in the casket company? How did that happen?
I was in China and met a cool person out there, and I was just looking for somebody to hang with, somewhere to go kick it, and then we became good friends. His family owned a distribution center. He asked, do I have any connections in my area? Would you like to go into business? So I went there and I made connections with, a lot of the funeral homes out around the area. I bought a warehouse. He gave me a good price on the caskets. I imported them to the warehouse, got a driver, and I was able to come at a lower price than most of the other people by cutting out the middleman. And I was able to set up with those funeral home directors to get a good product, a quality product, at a lower price for their families. So
Wow. Okay. What made you have this? I know your dad kind of was a little bit into the business stuff, but I mean, how did you develop the business acumen? You know what I'm saying? Because that obviously, spotting opportunity is one thing, but being able to execute is another thing.
yeah, I guess business is people. You're a people person. A little math. You know what I mean? Where you, you work out a profit margin, and you try to find a supply and demand for a product. I know it was a demand for that. I saw, when he was giving me the spiel, I saw a gap in the market. So like Jay-Z said, you smarten up, open the market up, do something different, do something where it's less competition. I kind of like I got a lot of flack for being in that business at first. I wasn't like, because everybody thinks that, oh my God, you're picking up bodies and put them in. No, I don't never even see them. I barely see a funeral home. I'm in churches most of the time, just making the connections and things of that nature. But I like that too because if anybody was ever trying to take something from me, that'd be the last thing they take. But that would be enough to keep me always afloat. I will always be able to get back on that boat because of it. So you always want to be in something that's golden to you, but nobody else wants. Get less haters that way.
I love that. Nah, that. You know what? I mean, at first when I heard it, I was like, mad. And then actually, when I deeped it, I was like, blood. To be honest, people are gonna die every day, b. Like this is it's an unlimited business right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, the changing market, and you know, what I mean, I like to help families and stuff like that. You know, I've given away, donated, you know, free caskets to families in need and stuff like that, of loved ones. I prayed with families and loved ones of, you know what I mean, of family members I didn't even know, just feeling their passion and their, you know, their pain at the time, and just said, hey, you know, I'm gonna give this to you guys for free because you guys, you know, was working on the money for your funeral, and I'm gonna come to the funeral, you know what I mean, and give my respects too, you know, just to be there and send some flowers. You know, it's a hard time for everybody, and everybody has to experience it. And I just have a soft spot in my heart for it.
I love that, man. I love that because obviously that ties back into your, like you said, your giving. You know, where does that come from? Where does I know you said you're a giver, but where does that gift of giving come from?
It was one of those natural things. I cannot tell you where. I think one of my best friends, he's kind of like that too. You know, and we just kind of got along that way. I remember one time it was we were driving. I mean, I'm talking about, it was pouring rain, like a tundra outside, and we saw this lady pushing a big SUV out in the rain. I mean, I'm talking about puddles up to almost her knees and stuff. And we stopped the car in the middle of the road, and we got out, and we was like, oh my God, lady, go in the car, you know what I mean? Let us push. We'll push it. And we pushed that thing probably about, I mean, it had to be about 6-7 blocks to the gas station. I mean, we're wet, we're tired, we've left the car. And it's funny, once we got the car pushed, her husband was actually controlling the wheel the whole time while she was the one out there pushing. We're like,
What?
We just pushed this car, and a grown man was sitting in the car the whole time, controlling the wheel, dry as could be, and we're over here soaking wet. But we didn't get mad. We said, yo, we would have helped anyway, because that's just who we are. You know, we're givers. We that day we owned it and said, you know what I mean, we're not gonna get mad for giving. That's what we do on our own. You know, we're not gonna be the one. Even if we take a couple of L's for being a giver, it's what we wanted to do anyway.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Ron, just do me a quick favor. Just wipe your hand across your phone. Say refocuses. I think you just went out of focus. Your phone. Yeah, that's it. Good. You're good. You're good. That's it. You're done. It's done. Sometimes it goes out of focus, but you're good now. It's come back. It's come back. So you're good. No. I mean, I respect that, man. Honestly, you know, to hear that, because obviously, being a giver is never easy, because it's sacrifice. You know, to be given. I know it doesn't sound like much, but you know, to give to people, it's also a sacrifice. It comes out of a heart that's loving. So you know, I appreciate that, man. That's a real one right there, man, bro. I won't lie to you. That's a real one.
Yeah, I try to like give. I don't expect anything because of it, and honestly, I don't. I don't even, like I said, I can give and you not say thank you, and I'm not even the type of person to be like, hey man, you didn't say thank you. I'm just trying to help people, you know.
Okay, I like that. Okay, cool. So obviously now I guess you're in Houston right now, right?
Yep, H-Town.
H-Town. H-Town. Okay, H-Town. So obviously, for you then, obviously, like, what is the dating scene like then?
In Houston?
Yeah, man. How's it been for Ron? Because you know, you're providing that.
It's a competitive dating scene. You know what I mean? At least where I hang out at. You know what I mean? I'm in the spots where it's competitive. The men, you know, are usually well dressed and decent looking and successful, and the women are fly and looking good, and you know, and doing their thing too. So you know, you got to come ready to compete and get your best foot forward. But you know, I'm used to that, and I date pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have a real problem in the getting a date department, but I had to transfer that to a marriage because I've never been married yet, or even a very super, you know, long-term arrangement or engagement. So I thought, you know what I mean? I'm a type of person who likes to take a lot of accountability for myself. You know, I try to screen myself every day, see what I'm doing right or wrong. And I put the blame on me. You know, I said, hey, you know, maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. So
I hear that. I hear that. Okay, cool. I mean, obviously, you said obviously you take good accountability for, like you said, for your circumstance at the moment. What's the then? Let me ask a question. What has been the impact of your parents in your life in your relationship? So, what have you seen from your parents that you've brought into your relationships? So what have you seen between your parents, marriage, or whether they were together? I'm not sure 100%. But what you've seen from them, how has it impacted your dating in 2021?
I'm not sure if it has. I was kind of against the grain dater from my parents. You know what I mean? I was like, prime example. I was on a date. My dad had, I think, a suite or something for the game, and I brought a date there, and they didn't like her. They really didn't. And they were asking her some very unfair questions, I thought. And then we're going down in the elevator, and my dad kept asking unfair questions. And then my mom stopped him kind of in the middle and was like, calm down, sweetie. Knowing our luck, this will be the one he picks. And I felt embarrassed for the girl in the situation. And then at that point, I kind of had to talk with my parents and said, I've done everything I was supposed to do as a son. Some would help, some would out, but y'all gonna respect whoever I bring into this household, and that's just gonna be the end of it. And after that, for the most part, they gave me the choice and the power to choose and make my own decisions when it came to my love life. Now, yes, they want a daughter. They want me married. They want bunch of grandkids. They want all that. But they're letting me take my time and do it at my pace. And they jab here and there, but it's not too much pressure. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay, I get it. So your parents obviously just wanted to make sure that you had the best. So they wanted to make sure to give her the special grilling to see if she's up to the task.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, I
from
understand that.
what I've seen, like I said, I grew up in a traditional household. My dad paid all the bills in the household. My granddad was the same as my dad. He paid all the bills for 7 kids in a household. Like I said, my grandmother never worked. My mom never really, worked. My mom was college educated, successful, but she quit her job for my dad, and he took care of everything kind of from there.
Okay, 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 cool. I get that. So obviously that's what contributes towards the run that we kind of see on our TVs that talking about. Obviously, I want to be providing, I want to be leading, I want to be the man of the house kind of thing. Describe a little bit of that. What is this man of the house provider thing? How do you see it? I know you talked about what you saw with your parents, what you saw with grandparents, but how do you see it now? Like, how do you see the role of a man, a husband? How do you see it?
Uh, to me, it's more of a mindset. Um, Everybody, when you use the word provider, first thing people look at is money. But the guy that's working that's outside of Home Depot right now that you go and drive, pick up in a truck to come help paint your house and is there every day consistently. He's the provider and protector for his family. He's getting the same treatment, as everybody else from his wife and loved ones, making maybe less than minimum wage. But he has the mindset of a person who's going to do whatever he needs to do for his family. And I guess I look at it like that. You know what I mean? I grew up dating in the modern era. So, I've dated women that's been doctors, lawyers, women that's made more than me, women that's been quote unquote alpha females. And we still got along because my principles were still grounded as a man. You know what I mean? I'll still hold the door open. I'm still gonna pay for the dinner. I'm still going to voice my opinion that way because to me it's just I'm just being myself, playing my role.
Okay, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. You're kind of saying, as you're saying, is what you've seen, so that's what you know, and that's what you operate by, in a sense.
Yeah, but everything's compromised. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to be flexible with people, and like I said, I can go both ways. I've dated both ways, and I don't mind being in a traditional household because I've seen it. I know how it works. and paying the bills of that household and have, my wife in a different role, with the, kids and doing several at-home business or doing something different. Or I don't mind us both partnering up and going out to slay the dragon together and or separate and just being each other's cheerleader and support system. And is trying to build for, our family and our legacy. Each way is not a wrong way to me,
Okay, no, I'm hearing that, bro. And it makes sense because obviously, it's like I said, we heard you on the show talk about, being a provider. Explain to us what divine masculinity is, Ron. Divine masculinity.
I look at it as in just energy. It's the masculine energy that you bring to a household. It's a father, a stepfather raising boys, men to men. It's the man that knows his role. He knows if it's a robber that comes over to the door, honey, you go hide in the closet. Let me go and take care of business. It's it's opposite of the guy who was steering the wheel of the car in the rain while we were pushing it. You know what I mean? Your woman's supposed to be in the car on wet. You're supposed to be pushing the car. So it's always in your masculine. Just when it comes to certain things, I feel. And that hopefully, if you're doing it right, and hopefully it is the right woman, it allows her to be in her feminine nature, and her really, if she enjoys being in that nature, it helps. It just all comes to circle.
Love that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of women obviously that love that. You take that provider role, you take that male masculine role. So for you, I know you said you take accountability. What has stopped you from being married at this moment? What's been the, I don't want to say stumbling block. What's been the reason as to why you're not married now then? Because you're a great guy, handsome guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? You look good. You know what I'm saying? You got the monies and everything like that, bro.
I thought it was that I guess I wasn't really dating with pure intent. I thought it was that. Through the whole process, I kind of learned that relationships are just hard for everybody in 2020, 2021 in this era. You know what I mean? Everybody's going through it. Even the people that's in a relationship and in a marriage are going through things. The single people are going through things. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, you're going through things. It's tough out here right now. And only thing you can really do is just, keep your options open, try to be the best version of you, and wait till you find that right person. And I just think maybe I haven't found that right person, yet in a while. I thought I had, but when I did, I was a lot younger. And when I was younger, I was a little bit of a playboy. I'll give myself that. My mindset said, yeah, I'm looking for a relationship, but my actions never matched up with it. And I messed up a few good relationships in my 20s because of it. And then when I got ready and got focused, now I'm just trying to figure it out like everybody else.
Okay. So she was obviously a young Casanova at heart when you were younger. And obviously now you've come to a different place. You seem more mature, you're saying. Is that what you're trying to say? You've got to a more mature place.
Well, just more ready. Because I was never a cheater or an a-hole, you know what I mean? Anything like that. I just couldn't settle down. You know what I mean? I couldn't be in a spot where I was just could sit at the house with my girl and just watch a movie for 5 days straight. You know what I mean? I was craving more excitement. I was craving more of this. And you got to slow down. You know what I mean? If you want to, really be in a relationship and be a partner and learn somebody, and it can't be as fast paced as you were living before. You know what I mean? You have to be able to make that compromise. And I wasn't always ready at that age.
I rate that, man. That's real. That's 100%. Because as young men, as we're growing up, you know what I'm saying, we're all trying to get to a stage where we're trying to, I call it maturity, but it's when we get to the mindset where we realize some of the games we're playing, it's no longer for us anymore. You know what I'm saying? We want to settle down and find the right coin for us as well. Okay, so then talk to us about how you ended up going on to Ready to Love. Were you recruited or did you apply? Did someone apply for you? How did you get onto the Ready to Love show?
I was recruited. I did see. I knew about the show because I saw season 2. I liked it season 2. I didn't see season 1, and then I was one of the first people recruited. I think I was recruited that January, so we didn't even start filming until almost a year, and 2-3 months after that. I was supposed to be on the last season. I had my bag packed. I had all summer clothes for the resort bought, and they said, "No, we're moving you to the next one." So I was just sitting around waiting. I almost forgot didn't know if it was going to happen or not, or almost forgot about it. But yeah, they recruited me, and then I looked at it as an opportunity to change my mindset in dating. So I didn't date only about 2-3 months before entering the show. I wanted to come in to see what it'd be like for me to date with the intent for long-term and marriage only. And they set it up in a system where, you feel that, because it's not like, everybody that it's so funny because all your boys and stuff, they're looking at it as if this is like this big 10 girls, 10 guys, this is going to be this big sexual, how many you going to be with? And I was like, nah, man, you don't even want to kiss happy. You don't want to be in that situation. It's best to just try to play it as straight as you can, you know what I mean? And like my dad said before I got on, he asked, why did I get on the show? And I was like, I just thought of it as why not? You know what I mean? I've traveled the world, I've done different things, why not do something different? And he said, well, you are already pretty well known in your city, you don't need it. You don't have anything to promote financially for this show. I don't have a line or anything that this show could bring you more monetary value to. But he said, if it offers you a wife, it offers me $1,000, he's like, you won then. That's the only prize you can take from this is to find a long-term relationship or a wife. He said, if you've done that, it's worth it. If you don't, and you just get with somebody and mingle to the end, or this or that, you're wasting your time. You're wasting you could be working, you're wasting your money, you're wasting everything. So that stuck with me. So I came there with a mindset of I need to, whatever's on this show, I need to be able to take back with me to the real world if my match is here.
Definitely hear that. Okay, so you were recruited, and a year later. So obviously, if you're doing a year later, how do you not get into a relationship? That's kind of mad. Because obviously, that's a great bigger chunk of time. You know what I'm saying? You almost have to put your life on hold for this show.
I guess I wasn't I'm thinking about that whole year. I guess I was still dating. You didn't know. They'll check in with you to see if you're dating, what's going on. You got to understand, my mindset was, if I was dating, I just want to go on the show. It wasn't that big of an opportunity for me where I'm like, I didn't ask to be on this thing. I'm volunteering to do something different. So, I wasn't gonna put my life on hold. If I found the right person, I'd just say, hey, I found somebody who can't do the show. Get it back up. It wasn't that big of a deal. I was coming in the mindset of, it's a cool experience, but I was shaky on doing it anyway. So, I was just, luckily, at the time where, they told us to come through, I was able to put some dating stuff on hold, before, and kind of get myself ready mentally.
Damn, I hear that. That's because I was thinking to myself, a whole year would be quite a long time to, wait if you had to wait. So
I was still dating, most, a lot of the time until, they told us it was going on for sure and when, and then I kind of took a break and came here with a clean slate for dating,
Okay, cool. Let's dive in. Let's talk about some stuff now. Let's let's rub our hands like Birdman and get some real conversation going. You know, that's what the people came for. They want to know about Ron and Ready to Love. Okay, cool. Ron, you jumped onto Ready to Love. Okay, you now were on the mixer. Who was the first person that caught your eye? Who's the first person that caught your eye?
The mixer was strange. You gotta understand what the mixer is, right? So you get thrown out of this mansion, out this door, and I was one of the last people. I think me and Khalil was the last two guys to get out there. So everybody else was already like a half a mile in different directions, having conversations with each other. And I thought I'd be real good at the mixer because to me, that's what 10 on 10. That's the lounge scene in Houston. You know what I mean? I should be good at that. But when I got out of there and saw that situation, that scene, I got nervous. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't want to interrupt people's conversations that they were already having, and it turned into a competitive situation real quick. So my focus is more on trying to being so late to the game and coming out there because people been there 3 hours before me talking to the ladies. You know what I mean? I've been in the car for 3 hours, wrinkled up now. You know what I mean? I'm coming out like, ugh. So I got to try to meet as many ladies as quick as I can. So I was more focused on that. But when I did go in, I saw Troy and Chrysanthemum. And I knew Troy before in Houston. So I was surprised to see Troy. I was like, what's up? And I saw Chrysanthemum. I was like, okay, she looks good. But Troy was hogging up all the time with Chrysanthemum in the mixer. I still tease him about that. He was hogging it up. So I kind of left that. I think I went to go talk to I talked to Kyra next, but me and Kyra was already friends before the show. So we knew we were kind of like off limits to each other. We was kind of just letting each other do our own journeys. Then I said what's up to Liz, who was gorgeous. And then I saw Amber about to walk down the stairs. I grabbed her by the arm and said, hey, I want to talk to some chocolate now. And then we went to a little lounge area in the back, and we had like a 2.5 hour conversation.
Wow. Okay. So who was your initial person that was like, boom, I think I want to talk to her? Like, who got you straight? Like, who struck you first?
I don't know about, like I said, all the women were beautiful.
Of course.
For the most part, I was just trying to get to know the ladies and trying to get a connection. Like I said, me and Amber had a great connection right away from talking and things of that nature. I like the fact that, we were just talking about food trucks and things of that nature. I didn't even know she was a lawyer or anything until about 1.5 hours in the conversation.
Hold on, wait, pause, wait. Hold on, pause. We have to pause. What do you mean? Wait, so you got told, she told you that she was a lawyer, or she told you she was a DA?
I think it's a lawyer, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, to me, a DA, a lawyer, same, you know what I mean?
No, that's what I'm saying. Did she say DA? I got to pin you down, bro. Did she say DA, ADA?
I don't 100% remember. I think it was just lawyer. I wasn't thinking of it like that. When a woman tells me she's a lawyer, a doctor, or something like that, it doesn't impress me. I'm looking at who she is. So I was more focused on that. I was glad that she didn't lead with that. That told me that she was kind of special. That she didn't just come in and say, "I'm a lawyer." You know what I mean? She came in with her personality. She came in being herself, and I like that she didn't just come in and just try to lead with her, her job or attributes and things of that nature. She was leading with her femininity, and that was attractive at the time.
So you're saying that Amber was initially the first. Amber was the person that you thought, was the right person, right? So Amber was the one that struck you first, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was attracted to her, and we had the longest conversation. Even the girls there were like, the cast members were like, man, you talked to her for a long time. I was trying because after I probably over talked in that situation, so now I'm really behind the gun. So now I gotta like run around and try to meet, as many more females as I could, because if you didn't talk to somebody, they're just gonna assume you weren't interested, and you're probably gonna get voted off. And then I met me and Ida had a connection at the mixer. Like we it was cold there, like freezing, and when it towards the night part, and she took a blanket and put it around me, and we hugged up, and that was cool. Stacy was a person I kind of knew that was a friend told me that was going to be there and said that, you might like her. So we got a chance to talk a little bit. But yeah, that's about it. It was just a long day trying to just talk to as many females as you can and, see, learn about the women.
I appreciate it. Okay, cool. Okay, so you had a few connections with different people. It was, you were vibes in, getting to know people, see what was going on. Okay, cool. So we now obviously know that, you had a good connection with Amber. The last episode on the show, you kind of exited with a bang, okay? But obviously, and you just kind of mentioned that obviously at the actual mixer, you guys had a really good conversation. So did your connection with Amber influence the comment about KG being a niche market? I just got to ask that question. Did any of that influence the comment about the niche market things? I know he spoke a little bit about Chrysanthemum in the boys section.
No, it didn't. I mean, KG would tell you he's a niche market guy. He's like my sister, who I call a niche market dater herself. They like the stars and the moon, and the energy has to be right for them to, feel a certain type of person. My sister, you could put her, the guy could be 6'5" and a doctor and handsome, and if she doesn't feel the right energy vibe, or he's not into vegan and some of the stuff she's in there, she's not interested in. She'll rather take a guy who got dreads, a little a little more hipster and stuff like that, who's into the same energy and same stuff that she's into for her connection. And she knows her type, and she knows what she likes, and that's what she goes for, and that's what goes for her. And if you ask KG or talk to KG, you will really know that he's serious about that type of stuff.
Okay, I appreciate it. I take that on. So obviously we were watching it and we were thinking to ourselves, it did feel a little bit like maybe, I don't know, Ron was having a problem with KG or something like that, because obviously,
I like KG.
That's a guy, right?
I am very direct with KG. Like I said, I know a lot of people I felt during this process was like handling them with like silk gloves. And he's a man. He's a real man. You know what I mean? Tough guy, whatever you want to call it. He's a man. You know what I mean? So, he respects the fact that anytime I had a problem with KG, I called him up. I said, it'd be the elephant in the room. I'll say, hey, man, we need to talk. Pull him out. We'll have a conversation. We'll hug it out. Buy each other a drink. Keep it moving. You know what I mean? No grudges, no nothing like that. So, yeah, I was just very direct with him. The only problem I had with KG, and it wasn't with KG, it was more, I just felt that he had like a different journey than we had as the other guys. And like he said, he didn't ask for any of this. He told me that with his own mind. I didn't ask for all this. So it wasn't his fault. I'm blaming, the way, everything was set up. But
Wait, when you say obviously he didn't ask for all of this, what do you mean by all of this? What did he mean by that?
Well, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all sacrificing our time. You know what I mean? I'm losing money every day. I can't get to my businesses. We're all doing the same thing, all the guys. And you start off, let's say we're starting off, we get thrown out of that mansion thing to go fend for yourself with the wolves, to go compete. And you're with the guys and y'all doing that. And then they do the big KG introduction. He comes out in the car and then everybody is set to cheer and stuff. And you're like, why couldn't he walk out the door just like everybody else did? You know what I mean? And come compete for, the females like everybody else. It was a time where I'm like, could this guy do anything to get in the bottom two? Could he do anything to get eliminated? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see a bunch of connections, but we were kind of forced to have 3 connections at all times to kind of save ourselves. And I didn't know him from season 3, you know what I mean? This was my first time actually meeting him. I did watch a little bit of that season because I didn't get a chance to meet Naya, the girl he was dating. And she's very good looking. Yeah, she's very good looking. But I was thinking then, everybody was like, oh, he's back because he didn't get a fair shot or things of that nature. But, I was being real. I said, man, I met a lot of girls from season 3. It wasn't her. What other connection did you have there? Because I met some of them women, and I met, when I got to know him, I was like, I didn't see a match another match there. You know what I mean? So that's where, his experience being, I say a niche market, good guy. Like I said, I tell KG all the time, niche market to you means you probably have about 30,000 women in your inbox that like all the same stuff that you like, because they're definitely out here and they're going for you. So, you have no problems choosing one.
No, I'm hearing that. Okay, cool. I mean, I just wanted to kind of make sure, because obviously, like I said, it might have been the way production put it. Obviously, the comment about
Yeah, I
niche
mean,
market
because
came
we're
after.
different. We are very different people, me and him. I did feel that production was kind of trying to pin us against each other at some point. I think we both felt it, but we talked it out, and we were more like, it's just a TV show, man,
Okay.
And like I said, when I was going through my little situation with mental health, whatever, he was the first person to check on me, first person to send me prayers, first person to say if I needed anything, call him. And I appreciate it, you know what I mean?
I got you on that. Okay, cool. So obviously, tying it into obviously KG, I know there was Amber as well. So I mean, did it make it awkward then? Because obviously, you and Amber obviously had a connection, right? You guys had a very good connection. So when obviously she's saying that she's got a great connection with KG, I mean, I'm assuming she had a really great connection with yourself as well, right?
Yeah, people got to understand that what you're seeing on TV, like episode to episode, we don't have a clue that any of that's going on. I'm thinking, I'm trying to get a date with Amber from production. I'm not getting it. I'm thinking nobody's getting it. You know what I mean? I don't know that she's been on 9 dates with KG. I don't know they're building up, production trying to build up this romance thing with them and put them on. I don't know any of that. Only thing I can go by is how that person is treating me. Me and Amber had never talked about KG for the most part. And I never called up KG and said, what's going on with Amber? You know what I mean? That's not how that goes. So the only thing I know about KG and Amber is from the deliberations in the men's group, where we get a chance to talk about, who we like. And we always talked about 3 girls. So it was never against KG was like, just Amber. No, KG liked it Stacy for a long time. He was like, oh my God, we had the most great conversation. She's been on my mind all week. He liked the Tress at a time. He liked, you know what I mean? So everybody, you're hearing about everybody's different women and who they like, I think it was a part where I did hear, he was talking to Tommy and saying, hey, yeah, I like Amber. We talk about the moon and the stars and this and that. And then Tommy goes right next to me and goes, Ron, you like Amber too. Do you guys talk about the moon and the stars? And I was like, we don't talk about the moon and the stars, but we talk. And it was kind of a funny moment. But yeah, it was like I never knew. I don't know what I only know what the information that's given to me. Put it that way. So I didn't know that the connection on his end was so big or whatever. He was really into her that hard.
Okay.
I couldn't see it. You know what I mean? I didn't, if somebody would have told me they've been on 9 dates and I couldn't get one from her, I would have understood more, but that never happened.
Okay, I get you saying. Okay, so obviously I know you guys communicated. Did you guys, because obviously on the show you said that you spoke every single day to Alexis when you were leaving. But Alexis said on her live, and I'm just keeping it real because I provide the evidence, she said you didn't talk every day. So did you guys talk every day or did you not talk every day?
We talk, I mean, not every day, but I mean, probably got over 160 text messages, and that's not counting hours on the phone with Amber. So we talk. We always, I narrowed down my top 3 probably before anybody on the show, because those were the 3 that didn't have any deal breakers with me. You gotta understand, it's 10 girls. Ida and Andrea were off pretty quickly. Denisha, beautiful, but she didn't want to have more kids. Tressa, gorgeous, my queen, one of my people I love the most on the show, but she was an empty nester, so I didn't want to give her another kid. Kyra already knew. Stacy was friends with the Xanthium. Now you're down. You know what I mean? to basically those three, Amber, Alexis, and Constantium. And those are my three kind of since week two. So of course I'm going to keep up with my top three. So of course I'm going to text my top three as much as I can, every day, every other day if I can. So it wasn't every day, but we kept in touch from start to finish pretty much.
Okay, so you're saying that you spoke quite a bit. So
Yeah.
would you say, okay, let's keep it one and true. Would you say that there was a slight over exaggeration when you were saying what you said to Alexis by saying we talk every day? Was there a slight exaggeration? There's a little hyperbole. Was there a little bit?
I mean, I'll let you do this is all Amber. I'll let you do the math. I mean, is that exaggeration or is it, I mean, we're still going. We're still going. We're still going.
I mean,
that
could be one day though. I mean, I don't text like that anymore, but I'm just saying there could be one. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying, was it slightly an exaggeration? Just a little bit of a smidge of an exaggeration.
I mean,
to
if you're
Alexis
going to be 100% technical to the, oh my God, it was 1.8, you know what I mean? Then yeah, there's exaggeration. But if it's just did we talk? I mean, you just saw the receipts right there. Yeah, it's over hundreds of text messages. I kept in touch with her.
Okay, cool.
And up to the point when I was talking to Alexis, I wasn't talking to Alexis when I said that. I wasn't mentioning from day one. I was talking about the last couple of weeks. And in the last couple of weeks, I was talking to her every day.
Okay, so so you're saying what, towards the end you started talking, later on in the show you started talking more?
Yeah, I ramped it back. Yeah, I ramped it back up.
Okay.
Amber had a text on me that said, I hit her up and I said, hey, been a few days, you know, you haven't, called me, what's going on? And then she told me how she felt. She said, I thought you were in Alexis and in Constantium. And that's why I haven't, really contacted you as much. And I said, no, you're still in play and I like you and we need to keep this communication going. And then after that, we were back talking again, mostly, all the time.
Okay. And so you and Amber, you got your connection going. It's, obviously I know she had a connection with KG, you got your connection. This kiss, did it happen? Did it not happen? I mean, like, what's the lowdown here?
I mean, it was a kiss, like I said. You to set it up, you got to get kind of you got to go all the way to, okay, let's say the kiss was Friday.
Okay.
It was. Sunday was Valentine's Day. Okay. So on Sunday and Valentine's Day, I took Alexis on a Valentine's Day date. Dinner, comedy show, flowers, all that. The next day or two, I get a message from Amber, and she says, and I got the receipts for all this is here. She said, oh, so you took Alexis on a Valentine's date. You didn't ask me. And I said, I thought KG was supposed to be taking care of that. And she said, he didn't. You still could have asked to see if he was or not. So I'm looking at it as he ain't, you know what I mean? There's a gap, you know what I mean? There's an opening there. So I kept the conversation talking to her that week. And to the point where Alexis and Amber we got in a argument over it because they were sharing my text messages. So if I text Amber, she was sending my text message to Alexis, and I got to hear Alexis' voice coming on the end. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't. It's like dating the same person. I might as well just cut out the middleman and send my texts that I'm about to send to Amber straight to Alexis because they're sending it anyway. It got to the point where I was going to tell the Valentine's date didn't go exactly as planned. It went kind of bad. I was going to tell Amber about it just to get her opinion, just to talk to a female about it. I talked to my sister about it. I was talking to her. But I was feeling like my messages, I was doing it by text. I was feeling like they were about to get recorded or they were being recorded because she was all, tell me more. And tell, a little bit. And I'm like, wait a minute. I said, call me on the phone or, I'm not about to talk about this right now. You know what I mean? Like, just, if you want to hear more, you got to call me. I'm not doing it through text anymore to that point. And she never, I don't even think she called, but you know what I mean? I was kind of feeling that maybe, you know, that they were sharing my messages and stuff to kind of figure out what's going on. And I wasn't trying to play either of them. They both knew I was dating both of them. They both knew everything. I told, like Amber said, she told Alexis everything above and beyond. I did the same thing. I told Alexis everything, always. So she even told me, she said, she was bigging up Amber. She said, if you don't choose me, choose Amber. Team dark skinned girl. I can see why you like her. She's like me. She's petite and dark skinned and smart. You know what I mean? It made sense to her. So, yeah, she was actually being a cheerleader for. I needed Alexis to kind of get our business. I needed Amber to trust me enough to not share anything with Alexis. And since they were friends, it wasn't going to happen. It was kind of why I never wanted to talk to Stacey and Constantium at the same time, because something like this could have happened. But this one I had no choice, because, like I said, I was already talking to them. They're already in my top 3 before they became good friends.
You know what? That's okay. That's interesting. You added some really important parts there. And you kind of confirmed some of our, some of my super panel's thoughts as well. So I appreciate that. Okay, so so obviously, so now, obviously, that Amber and Alexis are kind of sharing information back and forth.
Yeah,
okay.
To the point, I got the text message right there. Amber even apologized for it. We talked about it. She said, I'm sorry, I should have called you first. She said, Alexis said that you didn't really like me like that, and I got, I felt a certain way about it. And I was like, I never said that to Alexis. What's going on here? Like, now everybody's doing too much.
They're trying to test you. Did you feel like they were trying to test you at points?
Yeah, well, I got to take accountability too. Even though I know that we are allowed to date others, and Alexis had that open, position. I knew she was still talking to AJ, and some other people that she liked. She never went up to me and told me to stop talking to Amber. She never went up there and told me to stop talking to Constantium. So the woman's not giving you that ultimatum or saying that you need to make a decision or something. That usually means that she's still dating, so you better keep on dating too, But it's hard for Amber, I feel, to get comfortable and make a decision when she knows I'm still talking to Alexis, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So even though it's allowed, they're still women. You know what I mean? It's still hard on a woman knowing who to trust in these situations, because everybody's having these trust issues. You don't know why the people are here, what agenda they are. Are they just trying to make it to the end? Are they really looking for love? Are they trying to, at this point, everybody's kind of looking side-eye at the other person, because the representatives are now coming down. And now you're kind of feeling who that real person is and what their agenda kind of is. It's starting to come out. You can only fake it for so long or hide it for so long,
Okay, oh man. This is hot. This is hot. The streets are hot right now. Okay. Okay, cool. So the kiss did happen with you and Amber. That's actually legit.
So the kiss happened. Okay, so let's say Wednesday we have that, that conversation about between me, Amber, and Alexis. Okay. So Friday is when the following Friday, before I took it to the Valentine's Day, that's when you guys see the kiss between her and AJ, Alexis and AJ. Me and Alexis kind of had a rule that we kissed on camera or something that locks you in. And with Alexis being the TV broadcaster, anything that had to do with TV, I kind of took her lead on, because she just had experience on it. So we told each other, if we ever kissed or anything like that, we would tell each other right away, you know what I mean, or what was going on. I told her everything. When I had a date with Amber in my house, I wasn't gonna tell her. And then I talked to Dietrich, and he said, man, you better tell that girl everything. And then I called her right up, and I told her about the date and everything. And she was like, you guys didn't do anything sexually or anything like that. I said, no, it was a good date. We cuddled, watched the movie, I cooked. And she was okay with it. So after that, I was like, okay, let me be upfront about everything. And she she didn't give me that. You know what I mean? She kissed AJ on Friday. She still went to Valentine's Day date with me on Sunday. She kissed me on Sunday after the date. And then we had the snowstorm the next day on that Monday, and I didn't really hear from her that much during the snowstorm. I thought that was our time to kind of work together and see if we could have this working connection as a bond. Let me help you out with your kid. You know, let's pile resources that we have, because nobody has any water, nobody has any food and things of that nature. And the whole energy was different. The whole energy was different in Valentine's Day date. Ever since the AJ kiss, the energy was kind of just different. And I said it in an interview on that Wednesday, and I was like, we need to talk. We haven't talked like that, but I feel that stuff is different. Friday, we finally had that talk. She called me up and said, I need to talk to you. And we had a 3-hour conversation, and it wasn't good. It was mostly about AJ, and she was basically saying, you know what I mean? He's charming. You know, I liked him. He's been doing all the right stuff lately, and you know, and she was feeling him, and to the point where I agreed with her. You know what I mean? I was like, I was thinking so long term with the women I were dating. I was like, maybe I forgot to be a little more romantic, you know, warming up or playing more side dates with her. But I was trying to be respectful of her time, because I know she had a kid, and I know she was going through, you know, so much. I didn't want to do a lot of side dates with her and stuff, but yeah, they stepped it up. And then, like I said, I didn't know AJ been on 8 or 9 dates with her from production. I only been on 1 date with Alexis from production. That golf date was the only date we've been on until the Valentine's date that I had to go with myself. So I think a point there, Amber says, well, me and Ron only been on 2 dates. I only been on 2 dates I haven't been on more than 2 dates with anybody. Me and Cassandra only been on 2 dates. Me and Alexis only been on 2 dates. So it was the same playing field for the most part. I didn't get a lot of dates through production. I had to, you know what I mean, I had to get mine out the mud. So we had that conversation. It goes 3 hours. It wasn't a good conversation, I ain't gonna lie. But you know, I was basically defending myself against AJ. Like, I can be because I am a naturally affectionate guy. I am sensual and sexual. But since I wasn't showing that side to her, and he was, it made it look like to her that I wasn't that guy. And I'm like, I am that. I do that better, like I just told you. When I was younger, I was a playboy. You know, to her, he was a playboy, but it was something she liked.
Wait, pause. Wait, sorry, just want to catch that last bit. So, who made it as if you weren't affectionate? Was it Alexis or AJ who made it out like that?
Alexis made it seem like that I wasn't as affectionate with her as AJ had been of lately, and she was right. You know what I mean? But what can I do if he has 8 dates? I only have 1. I haven't got a chance to even get to the point where I can bring out my, my sensual side with her, or get sexy with her and things of that nature. But it's important to her. She's as we saw earlier in some of the clips, she likes that type of stuff, So I took responsibility for it, accountability for it. But by the time we got done with that conversation, I was like, this girl don't know me at all, and I don't know her. I don't know who I was dating before, but that had to be a representative. This woman's different. And we were done. I knew that after that conversation that she was going to pick AJ. I knew that without her, and me and Amber has no dates on film, barely, that I was probably going home. And I was okay with it. I've been wanting to go home for week 2. I actually self-eliminated the week before, and Alexis called me back to be on the show because I got into it with production, and I knew they were targeting me on the edits and things of that nature. They told me they were going to. We're going to make you look messy. We're going to do this. And I was like, oh, I got to get out of here.
Hold on, what? Wait, what? They said what?
Yeah, I was getting targeted by production. Like, Like, I got into an argument with them, and they were all, I even got it written down when I was telling Alexa. I was like, this is like some street stuff. This ain't no, These are like, they're doing setups and stuff. I was like, man, I got to get out of here. And I told Alexa, I was like, I'm going to self-eliminate in the morning. And she was like, are you going to leave me? And I said, no, we're still going to date. I'll take you out the next day. I can date you off camera better than I can date you on camera, but I got to get out of here because of production. And she was like, no, I didn't mean in real life. I'm like, are you going to leave me on the shelf? Like, you're going to knock us both off. And she was more worried. That's why I got a red flag with Alexa. I'm like, okay, you're more worried about that than worried about me and what I'm about to go through with production and why the reason why I'm trying to get out of here, you know what I mean, off the set. But I did feel that, you know, her and production called me up. They said, you know, if you do leave, you may affect her journey. And I liked her. And I didn't want to affect her journey and whatever she, you know, was trying to get out of her experience. So I stayed for her, not knowing that was Thursday. The very next day is when she kissed AJ.
Okay, pause. Okay, now I think, okay, so when you were telling her you were going to leave and self-eliminate, she was then telling you to stay at first go, right?
She was telling me.
She was telling you to stay. Is that what you're saying at the beginning, right?
She's like, and you're gonna knock us both out. I got the receipt for it. I can read it word for word.
And then she was saying that you were gonna knock us both out. So she was concerned, and so you felt like she was more concerned about her being on the show 100%. Rather than you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Hey, the tea spilleth over and it runneth deep. Wow. Okay, I'm hearing you. Okay, so is this why during that scene where you're saying I thought like better of you, is that in relation to this conversation here?
Not at all.
Okay.
The part I said I thought better of you, or I thought you were smarter than that, was 100% about AJ.
Oh, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, I threw a after party I wasn't supposed to throw. I had the whole cast there. This is sort of in the middle beginning, but everybody, well, kind of in the beginning. Everybody was there. It was a good time for us. We were stressed. You know what I mean? We're in COVID protocol. Can't nobody do any side days. We can't do nothing. Everybody needs to let out some stress. I allowed it to happen in my house. So everybody's talking, and you know, this is probably some of the best non-footage that ever happened on any season, right? It was fun. It was going down. I'm walking, you know, me and Alexis are talking at this point. She's my number one at this point. Chrysanthemum is there. I'm running around trying to give her a little time. Amber's here. I'm running around trying to give her a little time. Plus, I'm hosting a party. Plus, Ida comes. We invite Ida back. We weren't supposed to do that. And she wants some time, too. So I'm moving around. But I'm still, you know, Alexis is my priority. So I'm still giving her, you know, kind of most time. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm walking her to her car. AJ grabs her. He's outside talking to fellas and stuff like that. He says, "No, baby, I ain't got no time with you yet. You can't go now." So I'm like, I'm fair. I'm like, okay, AJ wants some time with you. You need to give him some time. I got a guest room upstairs. Y'all can have some privacy in there. Let me walk you up. You know, walked her up, got her situated and comfortable in the guest room. And I say, you know, he knows where it's at. I'll send him up. You know what I mean? Y'all can talk and have y'all time. I was trying to be fair. You know what I mean? And here I am running around talking to all these girls. And the guy that's interested in you and you're interested to wants to talk to you. I'm going to make it happen. You know what I mean? But so I go back in there to talk to Tressa, talk to Chrysanthemum, and we all hanging out, having a good time. About 2 hours pass. I go up back in the room. AJ never came up to talk to her. He left her in the room for 2 hours to the point where I said, you know, come on, Alexis, he ain't gonna come, baby. You know, you got a kid at the house. You need to go home. You know what I mean? And I walked her out. He's still outside in the same spot talking. He ain't even thought about it. They left her in the room for 2 hours. And she was mad. She drove off, barely said bye to me. I'm mad at him now. Like, dang, if my number one ain't even saying bye to me because she mad at you.
This is mind-boggling.
So when I was singing, me and Alexis, we talked about that. We were like, man, that was kind of shady. She agreed, like, man, nah, I ain't messing with AJ. That was this, and that. And then up to us talking, he wasn't really talking or paying much attention to her about 3 weeks without, you know what I mean, within. I'm in the deliberation. He was never picking her number one or anything like that. I never hear that. But a week before elimination, when he was the only guy that didn't have a number one girl, because remember, Kyra was talking to Jason, he starts putting on the charm on Alexis heavy. I mean, I'm talking about side dates, dinner, you know what I mean? The kiss. I want to make it to the end with you. I want to, you know what I mean? I want to do this and stuff like that.
Just lacing it.
Like, I thought you were smarter than that, or I was like, you know what I mean? I thought more highly of you because she's supposed to be this strong, black, diehard woman that I fell for. I fell for that from her, but I'm like, you saw the way he treated you. That I can speak on that because that happened in my house in front of my eyes. You know, that's not he say, she say. You know what I mean? So you saw the way he treated you then. Then, you know, he's been nowhere to be found like that. He ain't never claimed number one, but now he turns it on a week before elimination and you just go for it. I was like, yeah, I thought you were smarter than that. Like, come on, you don't see this? Like, I see it.
The tea spilleth over and it runneth deep. So okay, I'm deep in that. So that conversation happened then. So then why does she label you as being condescending then in that moment if that was about the AJ conversation?
She been calling me condescending since the phone call before. And I am condescending. I to be honest with you, I called my sister up and I said, she's been using this word condescending a lot. I was like, am I condescending? And my sister said, yes. That's your personality. You are you talk condescending. You're the nice guy with enough condescending talk to make you not a pushover. It's actually what makes you charming. She said, Alexis knew that from day one about you. You can't hide that. That's part of your personality. If y'all been talking on the phone 2 or 3 hours, she knew that. So he even knew it and didn't say anything, didn't like it and didn't say anything to play the game, or B, she don't really care about it. She's just bringing it up to kind of, you know, make it seem a certain type of way. But she said, there's no way that you were not in kind of, you know, have a condescending undertone to your talk if y'all been talking for that long every day. Impossible. And my sister knows me better than anybody in the world. So, and I went through some text messages back, and I guess I do some condescending jabs, but that's been going on for day one. I didn't change my personality. I wasn't saying anything different because I was upset. But yeah, I do have a condescending undertone on some things. You know, like I said, I'm so nice, so upfront. The condescending part has always kind of kept me from not being a pushover. It gave me a little bad boy edge, and women always liked it for the most part. To her defense, Alexis don't like condescending talk. I know this because she said her dad kind of did that to her, you know, a while, and they had a bad relationship, you know, kind of over that. So I guess she's kind of sensitive to it, where in other situations, other women wouldn't catch it. But like I said, I haven't changed the way I talk to her from day one up to that point. It's been the same. So, you know, that's, I think she was just bringing that out there, you know what I mean? When I said, yeah, that might have been condescending, I was just owning the fact that, you know, the night before I talked to my sister and we had a 3-hour conversation. She called me condescending on that conversation. And I was like, what's this condescending thing? And then my sister explained to me, and I said, okay, I get it. But yeah, that conversation was directly about AJ, and I was looking out for her. You know what I mean? I was trying to like say, man, I understand you want what you want. You know what I mean? I understand this guy had his hold on you. I understand that I self-eliminated. He wants to go to the end with you. I understand he's been throwing on a charm and a date as this week, and I haven't. You know what I mean? But did you come here? What did you come here for? Did you come here for a long-term relationship, or did you come here for something shorter or whatever? And I never could get a full understanding. She knew exactly what I was there for and what I wanted. I wanted a long-term relationship. I didn't care if it was on camera or off camera. I didn't care if I left week 2 or, you know, at the end. I even told Alexis, you know, I'm not just going to go to the end with you. We're going to earn this. If it ain't a real long-term relationship, if we're not that solid, I'll self-eliminate myself at the end. I'm not going to be tied to you. And we're not in a committed, strong relationship. I won't fake it till I make it. I refuse to. That's a waste of my time. I'd rather be single. I told everybody I'm either leaving a relationship or I'm leaving single, where I can go out and meet who I want, you know, the girl of my dreams who I want to meet.
Definitely hear you, bro. Definitely hear you. Okay. Chill. Tea runneth over, runneth deep. Okay, so I mean, this comment obviously when you did say, you kissed Amber, was that a little bit petty? Can you admit, was that a little bit petty? That little, just a little spice in the tea. You know what I mean? Just to make it.
It wasn't, because you gotta understand
Okay.
where I'm coming from.
Okay.
And I had to learn this about myself. Okay, so I got 3 girls I'm dating at the time. And with Alexis, I got this, and she called it out. Alexis actually called this out when she was talking to my friends about Tressa. Me and Tressa, they didn't show this, and I wish they would have, but we just had the greatest connection just from day one. And I was very protective over Tressa the whole time, where it would sometimes make Alexis uncomfortable. It sometimes make Santiam uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Wait, you had a connection?
As saying, like, to my friends, like, he has this connection with his Tressa. Has he always been like that when he was, like, growing up, where he was just like, and I didn't understand what she was saying when she said it, but it was a hero complex. And I had to do some deep thinking to myself, and I said, man, I think I had a hero complex on this show. I wanted Alexis' validation of saying that, this guy came in, he did the right thing, he was different than all the other guys that were doing me wrong, treated me good, he backed up everything he said. Being wanting to be a stepdad to my son and my 5 stepkids and everything like that. And he did the work, and he was gonna do it. I wanted that hero, welcome for doing all that. And I knew, here's how I knew that was right, because on Valentine's Day I spent over $400 on her, and I only did that because she told me that she haven't had a Valentine's Day in 6 years, and I wanted to knock it out the park. And then when she told me at the end, I thought it was a compliment, but it wasn't a compliment. She said, "There go Ryan again, going above and beyond." And the way she said it was basically almost like she felt like I was doing it for myself, not necessarily, for her, where I'm trying to prove that, you know what I mean, that all guys are not like this and things of that nature. And I kind of had that mentality there. I was like, there's some good women here. Some of these guys, from the stories I was hearing, ain't stepped up. And I wanted to be that guy that, that stepped up in those situations. Even with Tressa, who a beautiful woman who was taking care of men, most of her, dating life, she's paid majority bills and stuff like that. And I went up to Tressa like, you're never going to buy a drink or pay for a dinner or a bill as long as I'm around, with you. You are great. You need a man to step up. I can't believe nobody has done this. And I mean it. And to this day, I keep that promise with her. But I guess I was kind of.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because obviously everyone keeps coming out and being like, we love Tresha, we love Tressa. But what we saw, none of you guys stuck up for it. I'm going to be honest with you. None of you stuck up for it, it seemed like. So I know you.
No, they just didn't show it. I was sticking up to her through the whole thing. It was so funny. I even had this time of deliberation when I stood up and I was like, come on, guys. I was like, y'all missing the point. Y'all can literally be sitting there watching the game, laying back on those big old beautiful pillows of Tressa, getting a scalp massage with your drink in your hand, having the most bomb conversation with the coolest woman in the world. Like, why would you not want that? She's amazing. Me and Tressa had a connection. Me and Tressa almost kissed in my car. We had to stop each other. And the only reason we didn't was this. I told her, before I kiss somebody, I'm dating all these women. I want to make sure that's the right one for me. I'm only going to kiss one time, and for this party, and just know, I want to know more of the stage. It was earlier there. I want to know more of who I have a connection with and want to be with before I can start kissing. And she respected that, and it was there. But our problem wasn't the connection, attraction, affection. It was just like I said. It was time for Tressa to kind of build her business. She's been taking care of a daughter and a man for so long. It was time for her to build her business, travel. It wasn't her time to be have another kid and be married again. I just didn't feel that for her. And me caring so much about her, I don't think I was 100% the right match, even though I probably had the most natural connection with her. But I stuck up for her, you know what I mean? But and the other guys had too, they did too. We all knew that she was a good person. Some dudes were just straight up like, you know what I mean? They were honest. I don't like bigger women. I don't, I don't have an attraction. She's cool and this and that. But some guys were sticking up for her. She had connections, and I hate the way they showed that she didn't have connections. She had a lot of connections. Joel, Diedrich was back and forth, but he came through. KG liked her. I liked her. You know what I mean? She was my next woman pick in my top after Amber was Tressa.
Was that production that kind of got her sent out home then?
You what?
Was that production that kind of sent her home then? Because obviously there's guys that on.
It was a pretty fair send home because remember they did a double elimination that day.
Okay.
For 2 women. And when you're double eliminating, I mean, you're knocking out 20% of the field in one hit. You know what I mean? One hit. So, you know what I mean? On a double elimination, nobody could be mad about getting sent home because it's 20% gone just like that. And that was the time her and Stacey got sent home at the same time. So she knew that was about the time that she probably was going to go. It was probably up to Diedrich to see if he had a connection with her to, for her to stay, and he just didn't. So yeah, it was. She knew. I talked to her every day. She knew it was coming. So that wasn't production. It was more production of. I mean, they could have showed more of her dates and more of her connections because she did have some. She wasn't just a homie vibe. You know what I mean? We like to Tressa.
Fair enough. No beef. Okay, cool. So we've established the fact that obviously the condescending comment.
Okay,
but we went away from the actual comment that was made about the kiss, and I'm saying, was that petty? Was that you just being petty a little bit? Sometimes we get a little.
Understand. I can only go for the information that I know. So here's how the kiss set up. So me and Alexis had that 3-hour conversation. We're done. I'm feeling relieved because, okay, it was hard for me to date Alexis and Amber at the same time. You see, they were, trading my text messages, their friends. It was hard. Now that Alexis is gone, I'm like, cool. Now I got a green light to maybe date Amber the way I want to, or at least see if there's anything there. I was out with my friends. I called her up. She was out with her friends. I said, hey, would you like to, meet up? She said, cool. We go to, one of my little spots. It's empty. It's like 10 people in there. But she tells me she has on Uggs and no makeup, and she with her 3 gay friends. And, do I have a problem with that? I said, no, not at all. So she comes in with no makeup on in Uggs. Like, she was right. And she looked good naturally. And I remember I'd never seen Alexis natural. I've always seen Alexis done up. Amber came in natural, looking good. Well, we all, sit at the little table. I meet her friends. I met the same guy that KG met, the same exact friend. And I'm asking questions. I'm like, what's going on? This and that. Do you see a connection between us? And he's saying, yeah, y'all look good. She likes you. You might have to wait to the end, or something, or, to date her because, and I knew that going in because even production said, I was begging for a date with Amber for like 3 weeks, every day. Can I get a date? Can I get a date? Can I get a date? They wouldn't give me one. And then they finally just told me, like, man, I know you like Amber, but we can't tell y'all story. We don't have enough footage for you guys to even tell your stories. You guys have to forget about that. So I knew it was going to be no situation where I was going to be able to have an on-camera romance with Amber and make it to the end. But I didn't care. On camera, off camera, I would rather have been off camera. You know what I mean? All our dates were off camera anyway. So we chilling, we're drinking, we're dancing. I mean, we're really just grinding, having a good time dancing, having fun. And, during the dance, we're close enough and we mutually kiss on the lips. Good kiss. The same kiss you would give somebody off camera, is what it is. After, she met my friends, I met her friends. She texted me when she got home. She said, I made it home. I texted and said, I hope you finally see what I see in us. And she said, I hope so too. Heart emoji. I got this all on receipt. I said, my sister that you met, my big sister Karina, she likes you and she don't like anybody. And she did say she left the text there, FYI, I like Amber. I said that to Amber. She
Wait,
said,
who's
my
big sister?
friend
Your big
Tony.
sister?
What?
Did you say your big sister or her big
Yeah, it
sister?
was like my big sister.
Your big sister. Okay,
We
cool.
met
Yeah,
Amber that
continue.
night. And she said, yeah. She's like, FYI, I like Amber. Y'all cute together. I sent that to Amber. She sends me one back with her friend, the same friend that KG met, and said, my friend liked you too. This, and that. So if you take all that information, I've only had majority of my dates with Amber off camera. This is how I judge if a woman likes me. A, she's giving me affection. And I never had problems getting affection from Amber. She rubs my back. You know what I mean? This is how we move. And second, she's giving me her time. It wasn't a lot of dates, like she said. But when I asked her to come to my house to watch wedding crashes and things, she drove after work with her own car off camera. So this is not for the camera or for my vote. And came over and watched the movie and cuddled. I even got the receipt saying, thank you for giving me the extra cuddle time. And she heart emojis, and we're moving like that. And then we have this good date at one of my spots. There wasn't a lot of people. We're having fun. I got this woman who is a little younger than Alexis, no kids. I'm a little more physically attracted to her. I like a more curvier body. Everybody knew that about me. She's a lawyer, but she's logical. Alexis is very emotional. So when me and Alexis get in an argument, we can't argue. It's toxic every single time. When me and Amber get in an argument, two logical people, we get to a solution. So now I can argue a little better with you. We had a kiss. It was good. We had a good time. Me and Alexis are in different communities, right? I was worried, do I have to stop doing everything I was doing before to be with Alexis? Because she go to a little lounge that I go to with some twerk music and a few drinks and have a good time with me. I don't know. We never got a chance to do that. She says that she's down with that. But I saw it with Alexis. With Amber, we had a good time at one of my spots and we were having a good time. So here's a woman I can have a good time with. And she's letting me know, yeah, from that text saying, hey, it might be something here. So I'm thinking when I leave the situation, I like Amber. I want to pursue her. My problem is her and Alexis are friends still. I need to get Alexis even blessed. She's not going nowhere. I don't want it to be awkward. I need to get at least Alexis' blessing or something or tell her. So I went to tell Alexis that morning, actually. I text message. I got the text message. I text message Amber and I text message Alexis. I was going to text message Amber and let her know I was going to tell her, even though Amber never told me not to tell her. And I was going to text message Alexis and let her know. But they were in the female deliberation. But I have a text message saying, we need to talk, what's going on. Knowing that they knew everything, even if I would have told Alexis that morning, she still would have brought it up during the elimination because that's just how Alexis is. She's TV broadcaster. She still would have been like, she would have been all cool. Oh, okay, you kissed on Amber. Y'all had a good time. I told you that, she's cool. She would have been all like that. And then out of nowhere in elimination, she would have been like, and that's why you kissed Amber. She would have pulled the plug on me anyway. So I tried to tell her then. I didn't. Once we're doing the elimination, remember we already had a 3-hour conversation the night before. So we aired everything out. This is all repeat stuff. But I did get annoyed because the part that I did not know was that she was talking to Tommy earlier. You all saw that part about my faith and my religion. We didn't talk about that on a 3-hour phone conversation. She never brought that up. But she was trying to tie in that conversation to the elimination to make it make sense. So imagine me thinking we're on here talking about AJ and you just coming here blasting me about my religion. I don't know where it's coming from. Like, we didn't talk about this last night. You've never brought any of this up. We talk every day. And then she said the line, I need a spiritual leader for my son. And I was looking at her like she was crazy. Like, if you would have told me this day one, you could have saved everybody's time. I'm not that. AJ's not that. You had that. The son has a pastor for a son. If that's a father, if that's what you needed. Why isn't the first time I'm hearing about this? You could have you wasted everybody's time if that's how you really feel. This is I never heard about it. I used to bring up religion all the time with Alexis because her husband was a pastor. Hey, how do you feel about this? Are you good with this? And she's, oh no, that's good. I don't want another guy like that. I want, somebody more balanced, more flexible. She's been in my house. She's seen my Bible on the desk with my name engraved in it. She knows I'm a man of faith. And for her to put me out there the way she did, when I saw it, I didn't know that then, but when I saw it on the preview, I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't see that before we had that conversation, that elimination, because y'all wouldn't need to edit anything. I would have gave her, I would have been livid. But imagine her just throwing shots at me about my religion. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm getting annoyed. And then I switched the conversation back to AJ. So 90% of that conversation elimination was about AJ. They just edit his name out on everything, or the conversation about him. And then it becomes this catchphrase conversation where he just has me shooting out stuff with no context in front of it and no context behind it. The catchphrases, the ones that they know is going to get under women's skin and, things of that nature. But getting to the part of the kiss, they make it seem like it look like I'm just blurting that out on the way out. Like, hey, I kissed Amber, peace, and getting out the door. It wasn't like that. I brought it up to have a conversation to say, hey, this is probably the last time we're going to talk like this, because we were over the day before. I just want to let you know, since y'all are friends, how do you feel about this? Could I pursue her without it being you saying anything, derogatory about me to Amber or anything like that? Can we be cool? So I basically said, I took Amber out on a date. We had a kiss. I like her, I want to pursue her. They just said that one part. I'm expecting to have a conversation. What Alexis said right after that was, I already know she told me. Put that on my mother. Exact words. I already know she told me. So after that, I'm like, she probably did tell you, because y'all been sharing text messages anyway. Y'all tell each other everything anyway. And y'all been in a women's deliberation for 9 hours together. So yeah, she probably already told you. So then Alexis said, did you kiss her to get me back for kissing AJ? And I said, no, you already know that me and Amber had a connection. You know that we talk all the time. And that's where the talk all the time part came, when they edited that part in. And after that, it wasn't a big deal. Like, you know what I mean? We were on to the next subject. Production made it, this is their big drama moment. That's like, you know what I mean? They're over here like, yeah, we can make this look, you know what I mean, a certain way as our big drama. But that after that, it was over. I basically was just telling her to get her blessing, you know what I mean, to say, hey, I want to pursue Amber. And I don't know that Amber's playing a game or what there. I can only go with the information that's given to me. And the information that was given to me that's in text messages is that we had a good night. We've been talking. I said, I hope you see what I see. She said, I hope so too, with the heart emoji. I met the best friends. She met my best people. I'm thinking that there's an opportunity here. I don't know that, it's not. So I can only go by and react and act on what I see in front of me.
Okay.
And I really did like Amber. I'm not gonna lie.
So just to narrow it down, I know that she tried to come at you with religious talk, everything like that. But the I just want to just make it narrow again.
Okay.
The energy of the tone of the way you said it didn't sound like, oh, I'm just telling you about the kiss between me and Amber. The tone was, and I kissed Amber. That's how the tone came out. So, that's what we're kind of picking up on.
That was basically the tone of the whole conversation from start to finish. Can you understand? When I came in, it's Saturday. It's 10 o'clock at night. I know I'm about to get eliminated. I'm okay with that. I'm ready to go out, finally freedom. You know what I mean? I got plans with Stacey and Santi. I'm out there. I'm like, I'm hoping this thing only takes 13 minutes. We were talking for over an hour again. So the whole time I'm kind of out of the conversation, in out of the conversation. My tone was kind of the same the whole time. Like, let's get it over with. It kind of gets like that. So, like I said, up to that, it was a conversation. After that, it was a conversation. The whole thing was a conversation. Sliced and put, kind of in their ways, but they never showed the conversation. They couldn't tell the conversation because, like I said, the conversation was 90% about AJ. And they got their own journey. I guess they wanted to tell their own story, so production took all that out. But that was what the conversation was about mostly. Like I said, when I was telling her about Amber, it wasn't a got you moment. The got you moment would have been if I didn't tell Alexis about Amber. And then, because she couldn't say anything about it. And she would have found out later and said, well, you was sitting right in front of me. You didn't tell me about you and Amber. I would be like, well, you didn't tell me about you and AJ for 10 days. So how? You know what I mean? I could have used that was the got you moment because that was what hurt me. It wasn't the fact that she kissed AJ. It was the fact that you didn't tell me. I gave her the respect and told her, what was going on and stuff, and that I liked Amber and that's what I wanted to pursue.
Okay,
and
so you're
that
saying that
gave
she
her
didn't.
closure. That gave me closure, I guess. But you know what I mean? Because that whole spiel that she was doing when she was talking about, oh, I was trying to protect this heart and I wanted to decide, I hadn't made a decision yet and stuff. The decisions were all made the night before over the phone.
Okay.
She was going with AJ. I was done. Once you told me you didn't tell me about that kiss for 10 days, there was no coming back for that for me. I was done, regardless of what we were talking about. All the rest of the stuff we were talking about could have been nonsense on the phone after that. I was done, and she knew I was done, and she told me that. I'm the type of guy who don't take that. You know what I mean? It's other women. I'll go somewhere else. And the part that I liked about her was I thought she was loyal and a ride or die woman. You know what I mean? But if you take that away, what do I really have with Alexis? We're opposites in a lot of different areas. We don't have a super high attraction level for each other. So if you're not going to be that ride or die woman I can trust, we don't got nothing else to talk about. We only been on 2 dates.
So what was the whole Alexis can be my Obama situation and Chrysanthemum's like the party girl? Who brought that into it then?
That was more when we're talking about my friends and stuff like that. They were kind of saying, because they were giving their opinions. The female friend was saying, "Hey, I see a connection. I see how you move with both women. I see a connection with both. You have a very hard decision if you're making a decision, but Chrysanthemum's just like you. That's how you are. You know what I mean? You like to have a good time. You guys flirt. You know what I mean? You like to travel. Y'all do that. Alexis is more of a, go-getter, ride or die, competitor. You said it right when you said about it. She's the highest competitor to the level. That's what she wants to do. She said, but you're a businessman. You know what I mean? You're like that, and you guys are in two separate different fields, you and Alexis. So, you know what I mean? Together, we're just not talking. We're just talking from a working together standpoint. I think a problem with her and her husband was they were in the same field. They're kind of doing the same thing. They're both in the church, creators and this and that. And sometimes it's a working relationship, especially when your female is so competitive. But I'm on the other end. I'm on the business side. She's not good at what I do. I'm not good at what she does. I don't mind her being in TV, being the next Oprah. I wouldn't think nothing of it. I'd be like, oh, congratulations, baby. No competition in between that. So I was thinking of it as in how we work together in the future in a long-term relationship.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so you're saying that pretty much it wasn't really it wasn't your narrative. Your friends kind of said it. Your friends kind of said it, and then obviously because I think you mentioned it in the boys' lounge, but it wasn't your definition, or you weren't thinking that she's got that Obama flow. It's more that your friends kind of said it, and you picked up on it and just kind of said it. I get it.
The Obama flow, to tell you the truth, I'm not sitting there watching Michelle and how they interact, and
okay,
that's important to me, but it's not that important to me. I'd rather be able to have good communication, fun. Having fun with my girl is very important. And like I said, being able to communicate with her, without it being toxic or, or without anything being in the way. But there's more coming from them, and I just brought it out. But I did understand that that me and Alexis teamed up together. Just the two, me and Amber would have been the same way. Even me and Cassandra, two educated, driven people together in a relationship. You could build on that. You know what I mean? That's a power couple. And I'm not against wanting that. You know what I mean? So I understood what it was, but you had to have the rest to go with it.
So okay, so are we saying just want to nail it now? So are we saying okay? So I already know that you've said in a previous interview, Alexis knew about you and Amber dating. She also knew about the kiss already. Like you kind of let her know. So where does this whole Judas comment come from then? If she already knows you two already dating,
It
it's gonna kiss
blew my
coming.
mind when
Oh,
I saw
talk about it. Talk about it. I don't know what's going on there. Talk about it, sir.
I questioned her on that. I was like, you got to be out of your mind. Like, well, you knew everything. Why would you play that role of this and that about about the Judas thing and about Amber? I was like, even if you were lying to me, let's say when she told me, I already know, and maybe let's say even she was lying right there, she still knew enough. You know what I mean? I still shared with Alexis enough to know that up to that week I was texting. You know, they're sharing my text message back and forth up to that Wednesday. The kiss happened Friday. I got the receipts. So she knew enough to know that, you know what I mean, I'm talking to Amber. I mean, you know, and that they were talking. And she knows that we're done after that phone conversation. After that phone conversation, you thought the elimination was heated and done. No, that conversation was it was bad. It was done. So that gave me the green light to date, freely anyway. She was going to AJ. The only person I had left on my board was Amber, but I did like Amber. Like I said, I probably should have moved her up a while ago, but the fact of the matter is, you know what I mean? You're already talking to Alexis, Cassandra. I mean, it's just a lot. You know, I'm working full time, and that's what it is. And I do take accountability. If I could have done it again, I probably wouldn't have invited Amber out that night. And the reason why is my mentality was not thinking about the show. My mentality was thinking about long term outside the show. But it was just too late in the game. Here's a woman that I put third, even though she's been third the whole time for me, the whole season. You know what I mean? She's always been in my top three. You still put her third. And to try to whisk her up to number one, even though I had true feelings, I really liked her. We had everything in common. I still believe it would have been a bomb relationship. A woman's not gonna feel that way. She's still gonna feel a certain type of way for being, at a lower position to other women. And then when it doesn't work out with them, you pursue her. You know what I mean? So I probably just should have said, hey, you know what I mean? I'll reach out later, maybe on, you know what I mean?
So okay, wait. So who was your top? Like Ron, who? Okay, so listen.
Okay.
Who is your top? Like, who was your top? We know. So, like, when it got to before you got eliminated, who was your top? Because Alexis was dragging you to try and say that she's number one. She's number one. And I'm gonna ask you about that in a second. But who was top? Who was top for you?
I never changed my top three. So my top three never changed. Even here's the thing. Even when Constantium got eliminated, remember I didn't eliminate Constantium.
Of course, yeah.
She was, you know what I mean? We were making some progress. You know what I mean? The walls were coming down a little bit. I couldn't necessarily put her number one yet because we weren't in that position where I just felt comfortable where, you know what I mean? I felt comfortable enough to go up to Alexis, grab her, spin around, give her a kiss if I wanted to, and move like that. Me and Constantine wasn't really being affectionate yet. We're getting there. It's starting to slowly get there, but she just moves a lot slower than the other girls. I wasn't going to penalize her for that. But I couldn't, until I found out, if that wall was going to go all the way down or not. I couldn't put her in front of Alexis because we were just a little further along.
So Alexis was your number one.
What?
So it was Alexis number one.
Alexis was number one.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean?
And then Chrysanthemum?
Me and Chrysanthemum was talking. The bar was going down. That's why I wasn't necessarily mad about Alexis and the AJ thing, because if Chrysanthemum would have made it another week and that bridge would have went all the way down and I would have saw, what I had and it was good, it could have been me the other way around. You know what I mean? It could have been me having a kiss with Chrysanthemum and me having to tell Alexis. I wouldn't have waited 10 days to tell her. I told her the same day, but it could have been the other way around. I'm not saying that because me and Alexis wasn't bulletproof. It was red flags coming up here and there, the more we get to know each other. I think the biggest thing was when I met her friend, the ex, and the ex asked the question, have you guys had an argument yet? And I said, no, we never had an argument. That's crazy. And he was like, oh. and
Wait,
it
who?
hit me.
Oh, what? Alexis's ex.
Yeah, and I was
Okay.
like, oh man, okay, maybe she argues different, and she does. This
Mm.
woman argues different. so,
Oh, what do you mean?
uh, so yeah, once we got in our first argument and started getting to know each other a little better and stuff, red flags start coming up. But by then,
Oh, okay. So yes, you guys actually had an argument. I didn't think you guys had an argument or show
oh yeah,
behind the
yeah,
scenes.
we've had some
Behind the
arguments on the
scenes.
phone and this and that. But it was there weren't huge arguments, but there were enough to say when she gets an argument, she goes, I don't want to talk about this right now, this and that on the text and stuff. You know what I mean? It was dismissive, or it was like masculine energy, or it was like something coming, at me, it felt like, or like she, you know, had a chip on her shoulder. It was that type of argument. It was a type of argument where I was like, we're gonna never get a solution. The type of argument where I can't just sit down and have a argument with my girl. I'm gonna have to go into the other room if we were living with each other. Like, man, okay, you stay here. I'm going. I'm going into the office of the man cave. I can't. I mean, I can't be around that energy. And that's why I knew we kind of had a problem. But like I
Okay.
said, when Chrysanthemum got eliminated, since I didn't eliminate her, I called Chrysanthemum the day she got eliminated. I said, I still want to talk to you and see, if we could, if there's anything there. You know what I mean? We were making progress. I didn't wasn't the one to let you go. I ain't gonna change my feelings overnight. Just because you're not on the show, I could care less about the show if you're on there or not. I'm looking for my long term relationship outside the show anyway. Um, so I still kept in touch with her, but it just never got to be the same. But we went on some dates and stuff still after. And then after that, Amber and Lexi was kind of neck to neck. But I knew from show purposes wise that me and Amber couldn't be together. So I liked Amber, and I wanted to date her. Honestly, I wanted to date her off camera too, and pursue that and see what was going on with it. But I knew it could have been for the show. And I knew the next episode after my elimination was a retreat. I was like, what am I going to do on a retreat with Alexis? We're not talking. We're going to be on opposite sides of the house. And then I'm not about to, compete with KG for Amber. They ain't going to let me do that. And I ain't about to compete with AJ for Alexis, but I don't even think he wants to be there with her in the first place. What I'm going to do? Like, you have her, you have her, you have, you know what I mean? So I'm like, it was time for me to go anyway. But
Okay. Okay. So we got Alexis as number one. We had Chrysanthemum as number two before she got kicked out, and we had Amber as number three, right? I'm guessing,
correct.
right? All right,
And
cool.
remember, I didn't make the rankings. Like I didn't
Of
force
course,
the production forces you to rank.
I understand. I
That's
understand.
not nothing we do. You know what I mean?
That's fair enough. Okay, so now, so the situation now is obviously we know that Chrysanthemum goes out. It's only Alexis, only Amber situation going on there as
Left for
well,
the
right?
show. You know what I mean?
Left for the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still doing. Yeah. I'm still talking to.
Okay, so you're still
Yeah.
talking to them even after the thing. Okay, cool. So, for yourself in regard to yourself and Alexis, obviously, I know that you guys had a conversation. You explained it that it was slightly different to what we saw on the screen. You've also said the fact that obviously that comment about it coming left field about the Judas comment, that was not, she already knew about that, so that's more for production. That was not for
Yeah.
because
You
she
know what I
actually
mean?
meant that.
TV's gonna make their drama and play it out, and and Alexis and Amber. You know what I mean? They're cool with production. I'm not. Production hates me. You know what I mean? They've made it clear. They've targeted me. They put me in bad situations. You know what I mean? All through. So I'm the villain with production anyway. Them two, they work, with them. You know what I mean? So, they're gonna get the storyline that they want. I understand that.
Okay. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Because Amber said that you were the source of the leak in the men's lounge. Let me keep it 100
That is the
real.
biggest lie to ever be told on
So,
television.
so you're not the leak. Who is the no? Who's the leak? Somebody is leaking information out, especially about the Kyra situation because Kyra knew
Here's the thing, and you're a smart
somebody
guy.
leaking.
You're a
Yeah,
smart guy,
there's
and
only
you
two
can
people I
tell
think
me
it
the
could
truth
be.
out
Go
there.
on. Uh huh.
Tell you the Kyra and Joelle situation in the retreat where she says that is about 3.5 weeks apart
Okay.
in film time. So do you really think I told Amber, didn't tell Alexis. Amber didn't tell KG. She held it for 3.5 weeks right there at the retreat at perfect timing all of a sudden just to leak that out to Benicia so they could have her and Joelle could have their own separate storyline. Does that sound more TV-ish or does that sound like somebody actually really leaked it?
Well, someone definitely leaked it because the girls got the information. So somebody definitely did. It might not be you, but I'm saying
Yeah.
someone
Well,
definitely leaked that
it was
information.
my guess. To be honest with you, I'll say production leaked it. Production said, hey, Ron's gone. Say that he said this. And that way we can get this storyline with Joelle and Benicia. And like I said, I've talked to my castmates. I was like, man, you don't know I didn't say that. It's like, we know, Ron, you didn't say, you know what I mean? So I thought it was a production setup of saying, hey, we need to get this storyline. And honestly, I couldn't believe Amber lied on that and stuck to it. I know for 100% I didn't say it to her because
Oh,
we talked in text messages most all the time. I don't have no text message with me saying anything like that to her. I checked the date of that deliberation. Since that date, we only had 2 phone calls, and none of the phone calls over 45 seconds on the call log. So if I didn't tell it to her on the phone, and I didn't tell it to her on text message, the only other time we met up was when we had the kiss when we were at the club dancing. I didn't tell her then. So when did I tell her? Did,
I don't know
was
because
it
you
right
had
before she went out
163
on the scene?
messages, so I'm not sure. I don't know. It could have been. I don't know. So I don't
Never
know.
told her, never. Why would I tell her? You know what I mean? Like, we weren't, like you said, we were talking, we weren't talking like that. If I was going to tell anybody, I'd tell Alexis. She was the person I told everything to. And I had a date with Benicia, Kyra, and David after that deliberation. If I wanted Benicia to know, I would have told her right then. We were talking about Joelle the whole time. I didn't tell her anything. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't. No, that didn't happen. I put that on. I put it on my grandmother's grave. I put it on everything. I never told Amber that at all.
So you're saying that
That's a
Amber was
lie.
lying? Oh snap!
And I knew it was a lie. That's all the way production was trying to make me feel like be like the snitch or the messy one. Even when they were like deliberating it, that whole nobody would have known if that one person didn't say. Those are all production lines, man. Joelle didn't say that like that. You know what I mean? This is TV. It's a lie. You happen to get that information out right there in it. It's production. That's lying. You know what I mean? And I hate to call it out like that, but don't lie on me. You know what I mean? Find another creative way to get that information out to Benicia. Don't use me on it.
Oh damn, baby! Damn, the tea runneth over and it runneth deep. Okay, I think I'm all out of questions. I don't know if there was anything else I missed out. I don't know if there's anything else I missed out, man. I'm not sure.
I do. I mean, we want to address. I do want to address the
Go for it.
all the catchphrases because everybody got the catchphrases from the elimination of me and Alexis. The you can't offer me anything.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Alexis was talking before that about stuff about guys using her for opportunities and things of that nature. And I basically was saying, yo, you can't offer me any. I meant it. Monetarily, she can. I'm not the type of person that would take money, opportunities, or anything from a woman. I'm not. That's not me. I don't care if I was living in a cardboard box. I wouldn't take opportunities or anything from a female. I wasn't raised that way. So I said,
Wait, why didn't you take? Why wouldn't you take an opportunity though?
what?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take an opportunity?
I wouldn't target a woman. I wouldn't use. She act like I was.
Oh, like using her to get up.
I wouldn't go sawed off
Okay.
for your opportunity because she was talking about her show and TV broadcast and the guys that used her to get on there because they could market their products there and it's worth like $17,000 in marketing to be on TV like that in that slot. And she has admitted me a bunch of times that men have used her in the past for certain things. And she kind of hinted that that's what I was trying to do, and I got offensive. And you heard it in my voice, but the part that you heard right after was I said, "What did you mean by that?" And what they didn't show was she corrected herself, and she said, "No, I didn't mean it that way." Da 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 da. And we actually got on the same page on that comment. But they did show the part when I said, "What do you mean by that?" Like, you know what? What do you? Yeah, I know you're not thinking what I, saying what I think you're saying. And then we got back on the same page. But yeah, she started off saying like I was using her targeting her for opportunity or monetarily gain, and that was not what I was. That's an insult to a guy like me.
Damn.
So that clears that up.
Damn.
No decision, and then I guess the other one was we cleared up the other part. The smarter, I thought you were smarter than that. Had to deal with the AJ
Yeah,
situation. Trying to look out.
you explained that. You explained that part.
Um,
You explained that part. I
it's
mean,
one
did you
more.
want to leave with Kyra as well? I just want to make that clear. Did you want to leave with Kyra as well? Or?
Nah,
You sure?
Kyra is. I understand what everybody wanted to. I mean, she's fantastic, but like I said, I already knew her coming in, so I never talked to Kyra probably one or two times the whole season, because I wanted her to find a man for one and enjoy her journey. You know what I mean? But I root for Kyra. I always want her to. I'm ready for her to get married and do her thing. So I go to a wedding. Her and Simone for season 3. I'm ready for both of them to get married with my girls. So
Okay, okay. Let me tell you something, Ron. You definitely came out to clear your name like that.
yeah,
You understand?
I basically just want to tell my story in the
I understand,
facts.
bro.
And here's I clear up another thing too. The way she kind of left, the production had her leave and stuff like that with Chrysanthemum. It was kind of when everybody gets eliminated, they get a kind of a bad edit a little bit with it, but that was kind of not how it went. Um, During the snowstorm, I was going through it. I lost water, power, everything like that, and one person checked on me. One person, well, two people. Kyrie came through too, but the main person that offered me food, shelter, water, and everything like that was Chrysanthemum. So he did show her, her heart, and I would never forget that. That was her being a real one, stepping up. You know what I mean?
So are you and Chris Anthony, are you trying to make things work now, or
No, no, no,
no?
no. It wasn't
No,
that. It
okay.
was just like what I mean. I like to give people props for good gestures that they do for me. You know what I mean? And she did look out. Like I said, we tried to go on a few dates and stuff after, but after the show, we live in Houston. We're both gonna go out and date other people. And Cassandra she can be a little moody sometimes. Like you have to know how to really handle her and deal with her. On a full basis because she gets in some moods and stuff. You know what I mean? You have to be able to
Handle that.
step away and let her get her thoughts together. Nothing wrong with it. She what I mean, she's a cool girl, but she's not gonna fake it for you.
I understand.
You're gonna have to earn. You know what I mean? You got to earn your place with her.
There is a question. There is a question that's come to my mind now. That scene with Chrysanthemum in the club with you and Alexis, and then we get the cutscene. I don't know if you've watched that with Alexis
Yeah, I
in the
got it.
cutscenes, pretty much coming for Chrysanthemum quite a bit. How did you see that? Because obviously we saw Chrysanthemum, and listen, I love the. I ain't gonna lie to you, the dress was banging because
Oh
the little
yeah, yeah,
cat suit thing that was going on.
oh, yeah, they're looking
Shout out
good.
Chrysanthemum, you feel me? But I said she was so bad. I was saying. But obviously then we saw Alexis coming at her, like we saw Alexis coming at a few people. But how did you view it? Like, did you see when you were there at the club? Did you feel the tension between Chrysanthemum and Alexis in that moment?
Oh yeah, it was big time tension because you understand they're two different people, and they're probably two different people who's not gonna 100% respect the other. You know what I mean? Because Constantium looking at Alexis like like that, and Alexis is probably looking at Constantium like what I mean. So, but the problem was the way they sliced the scene up. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that they were gonna pick Alexis for me to meet my friend. When I got there, it was just Chrysanthemum. So I said, okay, maybe it ain't Alexis. Maybe they chose Chrysanthemum instead. So Chrysanthemum's meeting my friends. They're digging, they're vibing, everything is cool. And then Alexis comes out of nowhere. I'd never seen a two-girl friend meet, ever since that. So I didn't see that coming. That was a curveball to me. And Alexis came and she's in communications and she was ready and she was prepped. And she brought it, you know what I mean? Like out, you know what I mean? And it was kind of one-sided. I saw through that. I didn't take anything away from Chrysanthemum. I thought Chrysanthemum did a great job. My friends liked her. Both of them did. I thought she answered all the questions. They answered all the same questions together. So when Cassandra said, when they said that Ron likes to travel, Cassandra said, well, I like to travel. Alexis was right there saying, well, I got a flight pass too. I could travel too. You know what I mean? They was going back and forth like that. They're answering the same questions. I just think that, Alexis, the communication major, like she's going to win that situation 9 out of 10 times with most people. She's good in those situations. You know what I mean? That's what she does for a living. You know what I mean? I didn't take it away from Constantium during there, but she was not rude to my friends. It kind of looks like she's rude at the end, like she's leaving. She stayed the whole time. She wasn't rude. They liked her. It was a very tough decision. They didn't decide on Alexis 100%. My boy Nate was like, man, I don't know. Forget all that camera stuff. You need to you need to go with Constantium. That's man. I like her. She looks good. You know what I mean, and vice versa. So it was a hard decision. And honestly, I did not think Constantium was going home when I would have fought for her, but a lot harder. But she didn't have the lowest votes during that elimination. So I'm doing the vote count from the guys in my thing, and I'm like, I stuck up for her. You know what I mean? Because I thought you saw me kind of go at KG a little bit, but it wasn't personal. They had a date, and I'm like, KG, Cassandra ain't your type. So, and you know that. You know what I mean? You wouldn't step up to her in a regular, situation. So when he was kind of like talking about the date kind of bad and put in a dark cloud, you know what I mean? Because production would use that to kind of make that seem like the reason, that's the sentiment of the room. The reason why we're getting rid of a person. And I felt a little way about that because I would never, even though Joel likes, Joel was like a Benicia. That was his number one. And Benicia can't have kids, so we had a date. It probably would have been much in common long term. I would never throw her under the bus like that during the date to him because I know that that's it. He likes her. You know what I mean? I would have just been like, yeah, we had a great time. You know what I mean? She's not for me, but we had she was a perfect date, good girl, respect everything. I would have just bigged her up. You know what I mean? But he was kind of like, you know what I mean? Kind of this and that, you know what I mean? There was plenty of sentiment around. So that's why I kind of said, nah, man, I'm sticking up for her saying, she does call me. She calls back. You know what I mean? I think, KG was kind of trying to throw her under the bus because, you know what I mean? They're not a connection. I was just trying to stick up for her. But I would have went harder if I would have known that she was going to be the one leaving. I was going by the vote count. And yeah, that wasn't the vote count that came. Because trust me, when she left, you could tell that, you know what I mean? Alexis starts acting a little different, stuff starts changing.
I get you saying. Okay,
because even though here's another thing too, and I do want to say this. I did get played a lot during this. I ain't gonna lie about that. But people gotta understand, I was not playing the game. I refused to. I knew what the game was. I could have easily said, okay, production's putting me on the most dates with Constantium. I'm going to ride this out, go to the end. You know what I mean? I could have played the game to make it to the end. It was a waste of my time. I refused to play it. And I refused to play it. I gave all the information and all the game to Alexis, Amir, Constantium, whoever wanted it. I didn't care about going home. I didn't want to play the game. I wanted a real experience. If it wasn't real, I didn't want it. So I knew the game. I knew, you know what I mean? One of the castmates looked at me and was like, how'd you let those two girls play you like that? You know what I mean? And I said, I knew what was going on. There's some things and some aspects, but I refused to play the game back. I'm not a TV person, man. I'm just not. So I know you always bring up, it's a game, and he didn't play the game. I knew it was a game going on. I knew how to play the game. I refused to play the game. It was a waste of my time to try to play the game to get it to the end. It was no benefit for me in that. To get more camera time to stay on there? I wanted to leave anyway. They were working me to death. So yeah, if I couldn't leave with a relationship, I would have rather left single, and I wasn't playing the game about it. But I understood it was one there. I get it.
I appreciate it.
And you can't do both. You better pick.
You better choose one. I understand.
You better even say you're going to play the game, or you better...
I'm with you, bro. With you, bro. Listen, do you know what? Obviously, we're going to have to invite you back after the reunion because I know I know there's gonna be, there's gonna be war in the club. That's just a term. It doesn't actually mean that, but it just means there's gonna be some madness after the club.
Yeah, I don't like I said.
I know
I don't know
that.
about I don't know if I'm gonna watch the reunion.
What?
I don't
Ron, you better
remember
stop
much
that.
of it. You gotta
You better
understand.
stop
I
that,
got
Ron.
in a car accident about 7 hours before the reunion,
Oh snap!
and I had a concussion. And I told everybody in production that I hit my head. I was trying to tough it out for the guys and stuff. And plus, I was scared to leave. I didn't know, what I mean, was I supposed to be there or not, and what was going on. And it just got real bad for me,
Oh man,
like brain wise and stuff like that. I don't remember most of the of the reunion. I
that's
was
even
there
more
for a
reason why
long
to watch it
time. I was
back.
with delayed treatment. I finally got to a doctor. They did confirm I had a concussion. I think being in that scene and everything with it, ended up getting high anxiety,
Uh,
depression. I'm finishing up medication for the day. I had some mental problems before it, where I had to actually ask the OWN network and there for help, and that's why I've been on this big mental awareness push. And you've seen it on my hashtags when I've been giving out, and actually people have been hitting me up finally. So I'm gonna offer the same olive branch to your platform and saying anybody, if you're having depression, anxiety, mental disorder, you can't get it together, you feel like nobody understands. That's how I felt. I felt I had a lot of support. The castmates, the guys on the cast supported me all day long, but I just still felt nobody understood because here I was, a sharp, confident man one day, and the next day, I don't have any control over my punches 100%. And I had nobody to really talk to that understood it, and that would have helped me out. But yeah, I'm here for you. Hit me up on Instagram or whatever, just in a DM. Say, yo, Ron, I'm going through this. I need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to kind of help me through it. I'm here. I want to get a community started, especially for our Black males who just feel that they can't ask for help. I had to ask for help. I had to ask for the help for the people I thought that were kind of responsible. And it's okay to ask for help. We're gonna make it a cool thing to do. I'm not broken. I'm working every day, you know what I mean, to get, back to where I was. And I'm having fun doing it. And I'm here to try to help people in the process. So we're gonna turn a negative to a positive. But yeah, if you guys are going through anything, you don't think anybody's gonna understand. I understand. I lost my mental way, you know what I mean, to a point where I was in a bad situation overnight. So I understand you have no control. I understand, how to get through it. And I want to help others. So yeah, if anybody's
I
going through it,
appreciate it.
hit me up. Let's work together. And let's get everybody's mental health back strong. Care.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. That's real right there, man. I appreciate it, Ron, man. Ron, I want to thank you, man. You came. I said the tea spilleth over and runneth deep. You've now created a new term that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using that for the money makers. You understand? But I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your side of the story, because there's a lot of things that we didn't see behind the scenes. And we've got a great insight. Guys in the chat, I want to say thank you so much. I know, you guys were involved heavily. You're chatting greatly as well. You know what I'm saying? And, I know you guys had a time of your lives. We hit 1.9, almost 2K we almost had in here. So, Ron, you've set a new level. You are now the new champion on my channel. I appreciate you. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the team runneth over and it's
I love your channel. I love England. I have the British flag on.
Right, guy. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you one of these, bro. No, you won't. I'm gonna send you one of these, bro.
Oh no,
we'll
no,
get you one
I
of
love
that.
to wear it. Like I said,
You know what I'm saying?
I like your question asking. I knew you would be able to A, hold me accountable, and B, get the real story. You know what I mean? And I appreciate the fact that you take your time to really ask the right questions and really care about your craft. Now
I
you have
appreciate
been
it, bro.
doing a lot more digs this season than you was last season. You got to remember, I take that for the lady bloggers, but you're a male. You can't just be throwing out shots.
I gotta give everybody the fair smoke. You know what I'm
You
saying?
can't just be throwing out shots for the dudes, man.
Everyone's got to get the smoke equally. You know what I'm saying? So You know what I'm saying? So
Man,
this was for that
I
friend.
understand these teas about a women blogger, but man ain't supposed to be.
I gotta throw a little something. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry
You
about that,
teasing
bro.
me
But
now.
you cleared it up. You cleared it
I gotta
up.
throw those shots back. Like I said, I love your channel. I appreciate the love, man.
That's right, man. That's right.
Yeah,
It's all
like I
love,
said, these
man.
are the type of interviews I like because, like I said, you really take care of your craft. You ask the right questions, and
I appreciate it,
all
bro.
I'm trying to do is get my truth out, man. Like I said, I did want to say this. I understand I'm spilling a lot of tea.
Mm-hmm.
That's not for everybody. Some people want to hear the truth. Some people just don't want to hear the truth. Some people
I hear
want the
that.
entertainment aspect of this. They want to be able to put their own narrative and their own
Mm-hmm.
situation onto the characters, and it makes them feel better. And that's why this TV show is popular and it's a great show. And I want them to have the freedom to do that. And if I got to get teased, or if I'm seen in a different light, or if I'm part of a lie, if it's
I appreciate it.
entertaining, if it makes for a better show, if it makes for them to feel better about themselves,
Then it's
I'll
good.
be that. I'm okay with that.
I
Like I said,
appreciate it.
my core group didn't really watch this show anyway.
I'm good.
That much, you know what I mean? I'm in a different, you know what I mean? I
You're
don't
good, bro. You're
on
good.
the street getting ragged on or anything like that. It's not that.
Don't worry,
We
bro.
always
Don't
been
worry.
real respectful and cool,
We
but
will chop it up later. Don't you worry. Me and you will chop it up later. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We'll chop it up, man. We'll chop it
okay.
up. We'll chop it up. Guys in the audience, I want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you. Stay locked and stay loaded and stay hydrated because the streets are hot. But today, the tea runneth over and it runneth deep. We appreciate you guys. We will see you again soon.